cash a meal. And do it through the pain, I don't need the pain. And life gon' get me down, but it won't break my will. Cause I've been chasing this so long, I can't give up. I won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory to my name.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by Final Form Supplements. Final Form Supplements is a supplement brand with honesty labeling. So the labeling in supplements is Wild Wild West. Sometimes labels aren't honest. They have things in there that's on in there. We don't have to worry about that with Final Form Supplements. We got everything you need from protein powder, creatine, skin care, soap for your skin, handcrafted soap, and we have all kinds of things. Go to finalformsubs.com, that's S-U-P-P-S, finalformsubs.com, use promo code COACHSTRIB, all caps, no space, get 10% off your order, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe on whichever video you're watching here at Ivy Talks Podcast Network, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the NFL coverage. We're going to recap week 11, we're going to recap week 12. Then we're going to go over statistical leaders, the standings, and as well as what's going to be going on week 13 starting Thursday. All right, so let's get straight into it. Thursday night, we had the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Browns. Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 24-19. Sunday, the Buccaneers beat the Giants 30-7. Detroit beat the Colts 24-6. Titans get the dub over the Houston Texans. Big upset there, 32-27. Miami beats the Patriots 34-15. Dallas Cowboys beats the Commanders without Dak Prescott 34-26. The Vikings beat the Bears 30-27 in overtime. The Kansas City Chiefs barely skim away with a win against the Carolina Panthers 30-27. Broncos beat Raiders 29-19. The Cardinals lose to the Seahawks 16-6. 49ers lose to the Packers 38-10. Philadelphia and the Rams, we had a Sunday night where the Eagles were playing absolutely just phenomenal. 37-20. Saquon Barkley sets the new Eagles single game rushing record with 255 yards rushing on the ground. The Eagles, their run game is looking absolutely phenomenal. He had 26 carries, 255 yards, 2 total touchdowns, and Saquon Barkley. We'll get to statistical leaders later, but Saquon Barkley is playing phenomenal. It's been an easy plug and play for the Eagles with that trade for Saquon Barkley. And then Monday night, another team with a phenomenal running back, good run game. Baltimore Ravens beat the Chargers 30-23. with Derrick Henry having 140 rushing yards on 24 carries, and Lamar Jackson having 2 passing touchdowns for the the Ravens. This past week, bye week was Atlanta, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, New Orleans, and the Jets. So standings, again, I'm going to go over to the divisional standings, and I'm going to list them 1 through 4 in the order from 1 to 4. So AFC East, the Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. AFC North, Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Browns. AFC South, Texans, Colts, Titans, Jags. The AFC West, Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders. NFC, for the NFC East, the Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. Again, the Eagles and the Commanders were very, very neck and neck, even though the Eagles lost to that head-to-head matchup against the Commanders. The Commanders' loss to the Cowboys puts Eagles there first because the Eagles are 9-2. Commanders are 7-5. So the Eagles are going to take the number 1 spot there in the NFC East. NFC North, Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears. Detroit and Kansas City are tied for the best record at 10-1. NFC South, Falcons, Bucks, Saints, Panthers. NFC West, Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams, 49ers. Statistical leaders, passing yards, we have a new name in passing yards. Lamar Jackson at 3,053. Passing touchdowns is tied between Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow at 27. Receiving yards, Jamar Chase, 1,056. Receiving touchdowns, Jamar Chase, 12. Rushing leaders, Saquon Barkley, 1,392. Derrick Henry is very close behind him at 1,325. Saquon Barkley takes the number 1 spot. at rushing yards. Rushing touchdowns, Derrick Henry at 13. Interceptions, we have Kirby Joseph for the Lions at 7, tied with Xavier McKinney for Green Bay at 7 as well. Defensive tackles, Zaire Franklin, 123 for the Colts. And sacks is still Trey Hendrickson for 11.5 sacks. So going into week 13, let me pull up the schedule for week 13. We have Thursday night. Again, this holiday, so there's going to be games on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. So Thursday, Thanksgiving, Bears are at Lions, Giants at Cowboys, Dolphins at Packers. Friday, we have the Raiders are going to play at the Chiefs. It's going to be the only game on Black Friday at 2 p.m. But Raiders versus at Kansas City Chiefs. Friday. Sunday, we have Texans at Jaguars, Chargers at Falcons, Titans at Commanders, Cardinals at Vikings, Colts at Patriots, Steelers at Bengals, Seahawks at Jets, Rams at Saints, Bucks at Panthers, Eagles at Ravens, 49ers at Bills. And then Monday night, we have Browns, Broncos. No teams have a bye this week. Coach Strib's games to watch. Giants, Cowboys. The reason why that's one of my games to watch is Cowboys are 3.5-point favorite. Cowboys don't have their starting quarterback. Also, the New York Giants are playing with Tommy DeVito. So it's basically backup quarterback versus backup quarterback. Daniel Jones was the original starter for the New York Giants. So I'm just curious to see how that game will play out in terms of teams that are trying to get wins with injuries or without their starting quarterback. Giants are 2-9, Cowboys are 4-7. It's a divisional game, so I'm just curious to see how these two teams play against each other because one, it's a big rivalry because it's a divisional opponent, and two, can the rest of Dallas's and then Cooper Rush isn't a bad quarterback. He's a solid backup, so I think Cowboys will get the dub, but again, we'll have to see with the Giants because Tommy DeVito is not 100% based on reports that I saw today. So there's a potential that Drew Lock would potentially be the starter or playing for the New York Giants. And I do think, in my honest opinion, Drew Lock is a better quarterback than Tom DeVito, or at least he has more film in terms of we know what he can do. And I think Drew is a better quarterback. And I think if Drew plays, Giants have a good shot with Neighbors and some of the young guys that they have offensively and defensively. I think the Giants can actually get the dub against the Cowboys. But I'm just curious in terms of like organization-wise, how are these organizations going to handle their team with the situations they're in? My second games to watch, obviously Titans, Commanders. I'm not going to say why. Go Tits, Titans. But Steelers, Bengals. Bengals are 3-point favorite. Joe Burrow's playing absolutely phenomenal. Jamar Chase leading in receiving yards, receiving touchdowns. Joe Burrow tied for passing touchdowns, top 5 passing yards. Steelers have been very, very good, very solid. They are winning defensively. All their games they're playing, they're not high-scoring games. So I'm curious to see how the Steelers defense handles this high-powered offense, as well with the running back with a run game, I should say, for the Bengals. So I'm curious to see how that goes down between the Steelers and Bengals. I wouldn't be surprised if I was a bet for an underdog. The Steelers against Bengals, I would bet that underdog because Russell Wilson is playing significantly better. Najee Harris, Pickens, they're all playing better ball. So I would not be surprised if the underdog wins on that one. And then lastly, I kind of want to say Seahawks Jets, just see how Aaron Rodgers starts to play here as you get like towards the back end of the season. But I'm going to put a pin in that for that one because I'm going to go Eagles Ravens for sure. It is Saquon Barkley versus Derrick Henry. It is Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts versus Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. I believe these two teams to me are different versions of the same style of ball. You have a dual threat quarterback with a read option or run pass option, RPO game that is deadly. You have to respect the quarterback's ability to run. You have to respect the quarterback's ability to throw. And you also have to respect the running back's ability to run. So these are two different versions of the same style of football. So I am definitely curious to see how this works. And defensively, they've seen this before between each other. So I'm just curious to see how this goes. between the two teams. Eagles, Ravens, and this is going to be an important one because Eagles are 9-2. The Ravens are 8-4. So this is going to be a very, very important win for either team. Now, lastly, 49ers, Bills. I'm just curious to see. I'm just curious to see if 49ers can get things rolling. We know on paper 49ers they're a solid team. They're Fred Warner at the linebacker position. We know what they have on the defensive line. We know what they have offensively between George Kittle, I believe is Brent. I need to see if Brandon Ayuk is hurt. But Christian McCaffrey's been inserted back into the play. Brent Ayuk's out for the season. That's right. Deebo Samuel. You just got overall playmakers on that team. They got the number 4th offense in the NFL with the 49ers. They have the 4th defense. So you got a top 5 offense, top 5 defense, but they are 5-6. I think they're better. Their team is better than what their record shows. So I'm curious to see, or I'm wanting to see how the 49ers handle a solid team with the Buffalo Bills, who are 9-2. Buffalo Bills, their offense is tied. Their offense is 16th. Their defense is 15th. So they have a middle-of-the-pack offense overall, middle-of-the-pack defense overall, but they find ways to get the dub. So I'm curious to see the 49ers kind of galvanize and come together and really show off their offense and their defense and their capabilities. But those are going to be my games to watch. So stay tuned for that. Again, this is for Thanksgiving week. So if you're watching this will drop on a Wednesday. But if you're watching this at any point, whether it's Thanksgiving or not, happy holidays, Thanksgiving, and you guys enjoy your break. We'll catch you guys next week.
Destiny, I'm gonna chase my dreams, my life.